Okay, it looks like the stream's finally up. I had loads of trouble getting this going. Hopefully all the settings are still as they should be. But for whatever reason, YouTube, it took me like 3 or 4 attempts to get the stream to start, because it just wasn't working with the YouTube server. Yeah, this is the Finnish M98, or Scott M98. So, this stream I'm finishing at 2 o'clock, and then I'm going to be on Weapon Collector's channel for an hour, assuming that works. So, I'm on a different stream interface today. Let's see if I can get the regular one back up. Bear with me a minute, because this has thrown me off a little bit with all of this being, you know, not as it should be. So what I want to see if I can do is just get this back on the regular interface. So I said it's just thrown me a bit not having the stream as it should be running, kind of thing. It might be that they're forcing you now to use the beta streaming program, and if they are, that would explain it. I think that's probably it. Let me just delete all these live streams that aren't currently going, because I think that's confused it. I'm going to need to copy and paste that FAQ back in, aren't I? Because at the moment the FAQ isn't there. So I'll get to the chat, sorry, in a minute. It's just at the moment it's a bit of a pain that I've not got the thing, and I have to get used to this new interface. You can see the time right there, mate. Details. Don't know if I can actually change all the description and everything now, or do I click? Okay. Do I click this thing? Sorry, I'm just trying to get used to this new interface, because they've forced me obviously to start using the new interface without telling me. And that's really annoying. Right, okay. Let's save changes. Right, there should be a description now. Yeah, I'm going to be streaming with Mike in a bit, Richard. But I've been having a lot of problems today with the live stream thing. I tried to use it exactly as I did before, it didn't work, so I restarted the computer, started streaming again, didn't work. Checked on both my mobile and the PC to see if that was the problem. No, it wasn't. And then I tried using YouTube's new sort of beta streaming interface, and all of a sudden it worked. So maybe they're forcing people to use that now. Yeah, so I'm doing a joint live stream with Weapon Collector at 2 PM to 3 PM, and we'll be on his channel. So if you're not subscribed to Weapon Collector, you can see him in the chat right now to the side. Make sure you give him a sub, because otherwise you might miss the video. And don't forget to like the stream, everybody. So yeah, hello to everybody joining. But as I said, I've had some technical difficulties this morning, so please bear with me if this is still a bit funny. Morning, mechanised and weaponised. Right, I'm going to take this off now so I can have some coffee. As I said, it's just thrown me this morning, like, you know, going to live stream, not having the live stream start, having to play about in all the settings, still having loads of issues, and then finally it's going. Yep, that is not the Finnish M98. My favourite mask is the Avon CT12, like it says in the description, if that description's actually showed up. Right, so anyway, let's get onto the chat. Now, annoyingly, this chat is even smaller now on the beta interface. So let me get my glasses on, because I'm going to need them on for this.
Some masks have weird rubber that do smell weird, but I wouldn't say they particularly smell bad. Oh, Johnny Gas Mask Guy's on. Somebody was asking if you were banned the other day, and I said I didn't think so, and you're here, so you're obviously not. Yeah, but that was very strange. I kept having a guy ask, were you banned, Johnny Gas Mask Guy? If you look at my 762, if you look at my knife collection videos, all my bayonets are in there as far as I'm aware. But yeah, don't forget to like the stream, everybody, because it says we've got 21 or 22 actual viewers and 15 likes. Because this new interface, it's actually a lot better when you get used to it. But the problem is obviously that until you get used to the interface, you don't know where anything is. Because in this interface, there's like a small section of the screen, which is showing my live webcam thing and the time that the stream's been going for. There's the title, then the category, concurrent viewers, that's 21, 22 at the moment, likes, new members, chat revenue, and then it's got like analytics below, showing me what the average watch time is. The average watch time, now that's an interesting statistic, so I assume that as the concurrent viewers goes up and the longer everybody's watching, the average watch time will go up. That's a very interesting stat to see. Sorry, I'll go to the chat in a minute, it's just I'm now getting used to this new interface. So it's, you know, a bit strange for me, seeing this one. Don't know what you mean by what's my excuse for carrying a knife, Simon. In the UK, you can have knives like the Swiss Army knife, which are legal carriers in. They're under 3 inches, they're folding knives, so they basically, you can carry them without an excuse, if that's what you mean. With lock knives, for example, I only have these in my pocket if I'm out somewhere where I have a legitimate reason for having it, or for example, like when I'm volunteering. Like, every time I'm volunteering now, I have this Ganzo knife here for when I'm volunteering. And this knife is basically the one that I keep in my trouser pockets for volunteering, if that makes sense. It probably is, Mike. I don't actually know, because I obviously didn't see which one you were trying on your screen, but yeah, it looks like it's a better interface once you get it set up, but the issue is obviously getting used to it, because I was just going to do a stream as normal, and it seems like they've probably discontinued the old streaming service from working, or they've changed something somewhere. So I don't mind this new system, but it's just I wish I'd have been told in advance I had to switch to it. I haven't played Last Light in a while. I ought to try and replay some Last Light, because like I said, I don't hate the Metro games or anything. It's just that people keep nagging me to play them non-stop, and it's like, well, I've played them before, I just prefer Stalker personally. That's cool, Johnny. Yeah, it's just somebody was like worried about you in the chat or something the other day. They're going, oh, have you banned him? Have you banned him? So I don't think so. So I hope he hasn't been shadow banned by YouTube, but no, it's just obviously you were busy. As long as it's an actual ABEC filter and it's in date, it really doesn't matter, mate, because they're all the same thing, essentially. I can't even remember, Johnny, who was asking if you were banned. It was just somebody was asking, you know. Maybe because there's all the milsurp, and I think people in this country are still sort of interested in it, even if the politicians wish we weren't. Don't bear in mind as well, there's some very big British businesses that are arms producers as well, that, you know, sell weapons to different countries. I don't want to get too much into that, because that's a very political thing, as you can see from looking there. But yeah, Britain gets in trouble quite a lot for supplying certain countries with weapons we really shouldn't be, because, you know, we make a lot of bombs and laser guided things and stuff like that. Well, if you have, Johnny, I wouldn't mention that, because then you're going to get banned again, aren't you? So I'm going to let that slide for now, as long as you're sensible in the chat. If you're camping, yes. For the most part, it's don't do anything silly with it. But a lot of it is discretion, you know, like if a cop came up to you and I think if you acted like a completely reasonable person, which we'd hope you would be, you know, you're polite and everything, you're not acting shifty, you've got a camping knife or whatever on you and you're camping, there's not really going to be a problem. The problem tends to be when there's lots of people that, you know, are going like, ooh, you know, like trying to conceal a knife or whatever and they've got no reason for having it. Right, gas mask Henrik would be my Avon CT12 because I've already got one that's my favourite mask. Weapon probably like an AKM or an AK-74. Not that we can get those. I'm going to meet Weapon Collector hopefully in a couple of months, Billy Blood, but that would be it. Just because there's probably a couple of other people I'd meet, but you know, there's a lot of crazy people on here that send me death threats and stuff like that, so I wouldn't want to do a public meet-up with most people that I don't know. Yep, 762 as well. Britain, when we were claiming we didn't have enough of a certain kind of helmet for our soldiers, the government was openly selling them to Ukraine on both sides for extra money. So the thing you have to be aware is in lots of British governments have been very scummy in the past. As much as I don't want to bring up politics, I think every British person watching any of these streams would agree that both the Tories and Labour have done some pretty nasty things in terms of, you know, invading certain countries and whatever else. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, Johnny. Yeah, that's completely fine. I still wouldn't mention that, though, because I think you're technically breaking YouTube's terms of service if you had a previous account banned and you made another. I think they can instantly ban you again for that. But, yeah, my point is, yeah, that we have a lot of people on here that do stuff that's annoying, you know, to me or other people. They get blocked because they've done stuff, you know, to other people on here and caused offence. Then, you know, they come back and they might act completely fine for a bit and then they say, oh, my previous thing was this, why did you block me? And then of course we block them again because they're just trying to get around being blocked. No idea, I have no idea, Zilla, but people do. So, you know, I wish I could tell you and I can't, but a lot of people hate me for some reason. I don't really care. But with gas masks, there are gas masks specifically made to fit a child, you know, like those Soviet PDF masks there. And then with lots of masks, if you get a very small adult size mask, it would generally fit a child as well, or a young teenager, you know, that kind of thing. It says we've got 28 viewers and 24 likes, so don't forget to do the likes. I like how I can check the likes now on this screen without doing anything. That's quite cool. It's all the interfaces up on here. It's quite sci-fi. And I can set the thing by concurrent viewers, chat rate and playbacks. That's interesting. Don't know what all that means, but let's do concurrent viewers because that's the default one. The Israeli 4A1, Jose, is a much better mask. I've used both. The most recent one I've been using is, I think, that STCOP one. But I've used Arsenal Overhaul as well. As in DYGI, you got banned from Discord in general, or you got banned from a particular server? I assume you mean your entire account got deleted, did you? Oh, that's good. 29 viewers, 27 likes. So that's very good. We're getting close to the amount of viewers and likes now. Which gas mask from Metro? Because there's multiple gas masks from Metro. If it interests you, mate, I've done a video where I look at a load of the gas masks from Metro and I try and analyse them. But what's coming up on Google Images, there's a thing that looks like the Czech M10 or M10M, but it has the panoramic lens. It's built into the helmet. There's the PPM88 or GP9, I've got one of those. There's the my video is called The Gas Mask of Metro 2033 if you're interested. There's one which has a GP7 on a picture, or no, sorry, a PMK1, so that mask with the triangular lenses. There's the picture for Metro Redux that has an S10 on one of the pictures and the PMK on another picture. I see there's this crappy Metro thing they did at one point where they literally got a GP5 kit and then they put a Metro logo on the GP5 bag and then they like claim that was some sort of really good prize. I mean, didn't I do a video on Waco? Let me search my channel. I don't mind talking about it, but that's one of those quite controversial videos in my opinion. It's not something I wouldn't necessarily want to do, but you know what I mean? It's one of those things where the reason I get pissed off about that is like whenever I've talked about Waco, I seem to get a lot of people that go like, oh, those kids deserve to die. And then I end up blocking loads of people because I get really pissed off that they've not read into it. That's more my issue with doing it. That, you know, you get people that are so ignorant and don't really want to actually read up on it, that they take the opinion like, oh, the FBI didn't do anything wrong, the ATF and the FBI, you know, they were totally in the right. When in reality the Branch Davidians were a bit crazy, but they didn't deserve to be gassed to death and burned alive. It has been raining here, but what you can probably hear is just the computer radiator ticking every now and again, which does sound a bit like rain. Yeah, thank you, Gabriel. I've got loads of stuff on the wall to make it look sort of cooler. My new shelf came today. Let me tilt the webcam up so you can see it. It turns out that came with a load of fitting kits, and one of the things it came with was really strong stickers. So as you can see up there, I've put my shell of an MP5 gas mask on it, my broken model sticker and my broken, was that Tempest? Can't actually remember which one. Was it Hawker Tempest or a Hawker Typhoon? I can't remember what it was. Can't even read it from there. I think it was probably a Typhoon, but it's damaged because when the models were on a different shelf at one point, they fell off. And both the models at various points have fallen off and, you know, been smacked about and stuff, so... but now they're up there, they shouldn't fall down, but... yeah, exactly. I think you can look at it mechanised and weaponised in two ways. That either the government totally sort of dropped the ball and screwed up, you know, and like they had the best intentions, but they just were really incompetent at it. And then they, you know, killed people essentially by accident by being really incompetent. Or you can look at it a way that they deliberately killed anyone, but I don't think you can actually say what they did was good in any way. You know, they could have handled it in so many ways that wouldn't have resulted in anybody dying or, you know, a completely minimum loss of life. And what they actually did just resulted in, you know, dozens of deaths. I don't think I'd ever manage 7 hours in a day, because I'd have to keep going to the toilet and getting myself fresh coffee, and my throat would probably completely die by that point. But I am trying to get better at doing longer streams, and I'm definitely streaming more often now. I mean, once we get back to this weekend, I'm at work again, every weekend. So what's going to happen is on Saturday and Sunday, I won't be able to stream Saturday at all, because I'll be at work most of the day, and then when I get back, Weapon Collector does a stream on Saturday normally. But on Sunday evening when I get back from work, assuming on Sundays I don't feel too tired from work, I probably could stream a bit on, like an hour on a Sunday evening, I reckon. Yeah, exactly. It just pissed a lot of people off, which escalated things further mechanised and weaponised. But yeah, what the ATF should have done is they should have just inspected the building like Koresh originally told them to do. Or they could have, basically, when Koresh was out jogging, they could have abducted him there, essentially, to arrest him. And then they could have, you know, just served a warrant when he wasn't there. But what they ended up doing was they got all the TV crews there to make themselves look good, I guess trying to do an Iranian embassy style siege, like they thought they were the SAS and they weren't, and then they got loads of their own agents killed and loads of, you know, Branch Davidians killed, and then everything obviously escalated from there, because they just couldn't, you know, because they, you know, I think those are both Corgi models I've got up there. You know, like they're the pre-built Corgi die-cast ones. I know the Stuka's actually modelled incorrectly, because it's meant to be a Stuka B model, you know, JU87B, but it's actually not got the dive sirens on the wheels, so landing gear essentially, the Jericho trumpet, so it's not modelled correctly anyway. But my current PC spec 762, but I'm actually going to buy a new PC hopefully around July, August time, is an AMD FX 9590 is the processor, and then the AMD RX 480 is it, the GPU, and then it's 16 gig DDR3 RAM. Yeah, I've talked MLG Pug. The thing is, you keep asking me, have I done videos on this, or do I have interest in this? If you looked on my channel, you'd just see that I would. So next time you have a question like this, I know it is a live stream and a chat, but could you just please check my channel? Because it seems every time at the moment you're asking a question, it's something I've already done a video on, and then it just starts getting quite boring. You can't actually get suits that have the mask built in and everything like that, Martin. You can, I mean, you can get the, like, hazmat suits where you use an air tank with them, and then it's a positive pressure air suit, essentially. Yeah, it's because basically people could like the stream, stop watching. Because I've had 118 total views since the stream started at this point. So if that makes sense. So, like, you know, there's 32 likes, but I've had 118 views, essentially. But there's currently 31 people actually viewing the stream, and 30 now. But, you know, it's that kind of thing. My Scott GSR, I'd say, or my Hungarian M76, whatever it is. You keep making that comment, Johnny, and I have no idea what you're on about. You've done it on several streams now, and I have no clue. I've just... which version of the Serbian... do you mean the Yugoslavian MC1? Because I've got the Yugoslavian M1. But yeah, what was, sorry, I've got a Yugoslavian M1, but the MC1 is just that, if I remember right, without the, oral nasal cupping, so it's just a worse mask. Well, actual hazmat suit I am, that's the ones that are, the positive pressure ones, they are better than an NBC suit, because in theory stuff can't get in at all, even if there's a small rip in the suit, because it's positive pressure. But it depends on which suit it is and the quality of it and lots of things like that. It's like saying, is one type of gas mask better than another? It really depends on the model. I have to look up which one an MD63 is. I know the Type 56 is the Chinese one, isn't it? Which one's an MD63? Oh, Romanian one. Oh, the Romanian one has the weird wooden handguard on it, doesn't it? I'm just going to say a Romanian one, just because I've got a Romanian car and I like my Dacia car, and I kind of find the idea of an AK with a handguard on interesting. Not handguard, pistol grip. Not pistol grip, you know what I mean, foregrip. Foregrip, yeah, there we go, foregrip. Let me look up GP21, because without looking it up a lot of time I forget which. Oh, that's the one that's like the new PMK, isn't it? Which is got the panoramic nose. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. But I mean, without seeing it in person, I don't know how good it is, because there's a lot of masks that can look good, but then, you know, when you actually try them, you're like, oh, the straps are really uncomfortable, or the oral nasal cup shit, or something like that. But yeah, GP21 looks interesting, at least from looking at it. So, yeah. But yeah, what's interesting on this stream is I can see what my average watch time is with this new interface. So in theory, the higher the average watch time, the better. So it's actually good to be able to see that in real time. Yeah, the total time all users have spent watching this broadcast divided by the total number of playbacks. So in theory, the more people watching and the longer I go on for, the average watch time goes up. Do you mean a machete, Riley? I've got quite a lot of machetes. Watch my videos on them and you'll be able to see them. So yeah, just to give a shout out to the people that weren't in here from the beginning when we said about it. I'm doing a joint stream with Weapon Collector in 30 minutes time. At 2 o'clock UK time, I'm going to be on his channel. So make sure you'll subscribe to Weapon Collector if you're not already. And then when we're on there, it will be a joint stream, so when each of us talks it will cut to our webcam. That way we can have a bit of a chat and other people can join in as well, and it should hopefully be a good thing. Also, I might do another stream tonight, I'm not sure yet. It might depend if Mike's on Twitch or not. But I might even end up doing it something like 8 o'clock for an hour, like 8 till 9. Because I'm just trying to get used to it now where it's got this new interface. I'm sorry, I know I keep going back to this new interface, but it's just really weird to me having a completely different interface for streaming on. The thing I don't like though, is there's more delay on this type with the video. You know, like where I'm seeing... I don't know if I can change the latency settings on here. Let me have a look. Or do I have to do that when I'm not streaming? Oh, can't be changed once your stream starts. So it might be I need to go to low latency, where it's on normal latency at the moment. That might be why. Maybe. I'm on the wrong chat. I should be on live chat, shouldn't I? So I'm probably missing some messages as well. Poland's got a very good army VS at the moment. Because I think now Poland's obviously got independence and they want to, sort of, you know, if you get what I'm sort of getting at, Poland seems to actually have been putting a lot of money into their military. Actually, they've got recruits and everything that want to be part of the military. So I think Poland's actually going to have one of the best European armies at the moment. Certainly not Britain. Britain's military's falling apart from lack of spending and them trying to push weird SJW stuff in the military. France is trying to now use their army against their own people, aren't they, thanks to Macron. Germany's had massive spending problems with their army where they've like sold off lots of stuff as surplus to other nations. Then they've realised they've not got enough stuff for their own use. Oh, sorry to hear about that. I hope he's alright now. I don't actually know any hazmat suits because I only have NBC suits, so I really couldn't advise you on hazmat suits. There might be places you could look that up, but like I said, I can't really advise on it because I don't have any experience with actual hazmat A suits, or whatever they call them at all. I've only got experience with NBC suits. Now, if you wanted advice on NBC suits, the Polish and East German NBC suits are quite good. I have no idea what you're on about, Riley, but can you stop spamming the chat? Yeah, like Johnny says, Beeben, be very careful of that because you can cause tanks to explode or, like, you know, essentially kill you in various ways. Right, if you say you've taken all precautions, it's still a bit worrying. Actually, I'm interested in, at the moment, just to look on my analytics to see what the average watch time is for all my videos. Well, it's interesting, a lot of Yugoslavian stuff is like a mix between West and East stuff. I mean, I know it's because Yugoslavia feared invasion from both NATO and the Warsaw Pact at most of the time. Can't even remember where it says. Oh, average view duration is 3 minutes and 6 seconds. Okay, so this stream's already over my average view duration, so that's pretty good. Okay, there's not much I can suggest then, I'm sorry, Niam. Because I really don't know what you could actually do to get around that. Is anybody doing anything interesting later today? It's Tissot. It's pronounced Tissot though because it's like a French word where they, for whatever reason, the French don't normally pronounce like the last letter, do they, in a word? Yeah, I'd listen to Richard for that. Like I say, there's a lot of things you really shouldn't mess about with unless you know what you're doing. And it's like I said, I don't mess about with rebreathers because, like I've said with rebreathers, there's so many things that can go wrong with old surplus rebreathers, even if you have the training to use them. And I don't have the training to use them, so that's why I tell people to stay away from them. Cool, what sort of motorbike are you getting? That's very interesting, 762. But yeah, I know they did like the weird things as well, where they built lots of German-style World War II guns, and then they rechambered them to calibers they were actually going to use, which is really interesting. Because I know at least in the UK, if you're going to buy deactivated guns, like any of the German World War II guns are really, really expensive, but you can buy the Yugoslav ones that, from the outside, look nearly identical, and they're like a quarter of the price, if that. Like, you can buy a Yugoslavian MG42 for like £500, £600, or if you bought a German World War II MG42, it would be like, you know, 2,000, 3,000 sort of pounds. Ah, that sounds good, Mike. I'll check that out for sure when you upload that. Happy Anzac Day to you then. Isn't that Australian, New Zealand sort of Veteran Day, Johnny Gasmask? I'd never had a World War I gas mask to begin with. And remember everybody, just to shout it out there, if you're interested in the merchandise, look below. You can get mugs and shirts and things with gas mask designs on. Bart's meant to be coming round tomorrow, and I was going to get him to help me film some videos outside, but annoyingly the weather report now looks like it might just be raining all day. So if that's the case, I'll see if he wants to do like an hour stream or something with me, and then people, if they wanted to talk about merch designs or like drawing stuff, could talk to him about that. That might be quite an interesting stream to do, because he does all the pictures for the merch, because he's like, you know, an actual artist. He does like illustrations for books and things. Oh, I've still got the PH Gassard replica, yeah. I've got a deactivated RPK, Gabriel, so that's like an AK with a longer, heavier barrel. But I won't. You can actually see. I'll turn the channel. I'm not going to get it out at the moment because I'll knock a load of stuff over. But you can see the PPSH 41's barrel and the RPK's barrel down there. They're in that corner. Alright, see you, Johnny Gasmoth guy. What is really annoying me though on this stream is the latency thing. I'm definitely going to have to change that the next time I do a stream with this new system, because I hate this thing of seeing myself from like 30 seconds ago or whenever it is. That's really throwing me off. No, you're going to have to go to Weapon Collector's channel, Jose. So subscribe to Weapon Collector in the chat, and then it will be on his channel in 20 odd minutes time. What, my RPK is that 762? My RPK doesn't have any sort of rails on it as far as I'm aware. It's just got the standard dust cover. It's a Yugoslavian RPK though. M72 RPK. Yeah, but he's saying, Beeben, I'm just going to give you a warning now, right? This is really something you don't mess about with. So I'm saying to you, listen to what somebody's telling you, who's a lot more experienced, this kind of thing. There's certain things you just don't mess about with, and like messing about with air tanks is one of them. I think they're banning them if you're in the UK NIAM, so I can't really advise you on that. So I really wouldn't, you know. I assume it's like a Veterans Day thing, isn't it, Riley? Yeah, I know the scopes you mean, but yeah, my RPK doesn't have any sort of side dovetail on it. It's just literally, you know, one like a standard AK looking thing. Just it's weird because the Yugoslavian RPKs, they did the series like the one I've got, the M72AB1, which has the underfold of stock combined with an RPK, which is really weird, but it was, you know, a thing they did. All right, Aranda. Ooh. Got hiccups now. Well, in theory, a flimsy dust mask is better than nothing, but I think they give you a false sense of security, because with most of those dust masks, you never get one that's actually properly tight to your face. So what ends up happening is you wear one, you think it's protecting you, and then you end up exposing yourself to a lot more dust or whatever than you would have done if you hadn't even had the mask on in the first place, and then you're a lot worse for it. Because where I volunteer, they actually hand out dust masks if you want them for working in dusty environments, and that's the reason I always use a half face mask or like a full face respirator there now when I'm working in those dusty areas, because I was actually worse if I used the like little dust masks they gave you, because they never made a good fit to your face. So you'd stay in a dusty environment for longer, and then you'd realise all of a sudden, you know, you're wheezing horribly and everything like that. I'm not a fan of the Metro games, but I suppose they could have me as some sort of guest NPC in there, which was miserable. Yeah, I really can't advise you on a lot of that stuff, I'm afraid, and I am, because, like I said, I don't want to get in trouble chatting about it. I don't want to give anybody legal advice that would get them in trouble if I'm wrong. But I do agree a lot of the laws are quite stupid. Right, cool, yeah, I'll finish up a couple of minutes before 2 o'clock, Mike. That way I can get a fresh cup of coffee and whatever. And then I'll be straight back on. So it might be that I'm a couple of minutes after 2 by the time I'm on. But yeah, I'll Twitter you as soon as I finish this stream. So yeah, I'm on for about 10 more minutes if people want to ask interesting questions and things like that. That's good, we've got 42 likes at the moment and 24 concurrent viewers. So yeah, the likes are getting quite a lot higher than the concurrent viewers, so that's good. Any proper half face mask or better. So when I say half face mask, I mean like the rubber 3M masks. I can show you actually. I've got that Chinese one still in this room. Now, the Chinese mask, as I've moaned about it before, the actual mask is good, but the proper filters that came with it were awful. So I bought actual 3M filters for it, and now it's good. But yeah, so this mask. This one has a really weird clasp as well, which isn't as good as the actual 3M clasps. But let me just get that done up. Right, there we go. So yeah, a mask like this basically. If you were mowing the grass, this is the most simple kind of mask you can go for, but something like this would actually stop your hay fever symptoms. The only thing is if pollen and whatever gets in your eyes, that can still upset your hay fever. It depends completely. If you want to donate to me, Jose, just donate whatever you feel like you can donate. I'm not forcing you to donate anything. You have to donate at least $1 to get onto the Discord, but you can donate anything you want. Or you can donate on a YouTube super chat or whatever, but the problem is if you do that, you can't get a Discord invite because I can't sort it out for YouTube. What's the magical bag then, Beeben? But also, if you wanted to, Jose, what you could do is you could buy some merch and then you actually physically get something out of it if you wanted to spend some money. Which is what I've been saying to people for a while, that if they wanted to do a one-off donation, it's probably actually better to buy a bit of merch, because I still get some money from that, and then you get something from it. No, that's impossible, Gabriel, because I have over 100 masks. Price range for what, SpongeBob, sorry? Oh, these sort of masks. If you mean these sort of masks, if you buy a Chinese copy of a 3M mask, and then let's say you buy some proper 3M filters for it, you're probably looking at £10, $10 sort of minimum, going up in price. But of course, you could buy just something like a Warsaw packed gas mask, full face Warsaw packed gas mask for like $5 to $10 or pounds. Get a safe filter for it, again bringing the price up a bit more. And then that would work as well. No, not yet, Jacob. It's been raining very heavily today, so I'm not going out for a walk or anything today. Yeah, it's probably for the best, Beeben. I don't think he's telling you to, try and be a dick. I think he's just concerned, because I would be as well. But the issue is with lots of things like that is if you don't know what you're doing, you can do one little mess up and it can kill you or seriously injure you. That's why it's just really not worth it. I don't think there's any problem with saying SpongeBob aloud, Jose. My oldest World War II mask is probably one of my British interwar ones, but like I've said, a lot of them, the dates have worn off the rubber, so I can't even tell you when they were produced. Yeah, it's raining here in Oxford though. But yeah, it's the weather here. Yeah, the pressure's been dropping since yesterday. We've had a lot of nice sunny days. Now it looks like we're going to have like thunder and lightning sort of style weather again. Alright, don't forget to like the stream, everybody, if there's people on the stream that haven't liked it yet, because it helps me out. And I'll be finishing the stream in about 5 minutes, because I'll be going on to Weapon Collector's stream. Yeah, I'd rather people didn't start arguing about copyright though in a stream like this, because that's just very boring and not very interesting to most people. Yeah, good idea, Beeben. As said, it's just because we don't want you to hurt yourself or kill yourself. Because it's just, there's lots of things like that. Rebreathers and air tanks are things you do not mess about with, really, just because of how many things can go wrong. Yeah, but Croatia's a nicer sunny country, isn't it, than the UK? The UK and England especially are quite famous for being sort of wet and miserable, even though I quite like wet, rainy weather, but still. No, as I said, Jose, the problem is there's no way I can do that, sadly. The only way I can give you a Discord invite is if you do anything via Patreon. I wish I could, but I can't see who's actually bought merch. All it says on my thing is if somebody buys merch, it just says, you know, this item has been purchased, essentially. Depends how much you want to spend, Random Dragon. But any of the Warsaw pack masks, if you put a safe filter on it, they're good. They're good collector's items. Like you can buy a GP5 really cheaply with all the kit, so that's interesting. I'd love to see my M72 RPK, but a Khyber Pass copy of it, 762. That'd be really interesting. It'd be like a bolt action mechanism. It'd be a completely different kind of folding stock. It'd probably be like a coat hanger or something welded to a pipe for the stock. Yeah, what I was saying, Jacob, earlier is there's a few things Bart's going to draw out when he gets time, because obviously when you have a person physically drawing out merch, he also has to do illustrations for books and things like that. It's whenever he gets time to do it. But he should be over here tomorrow, so if we've got time, I might see if I can get him in here for a stream, and then people could chat with him about design ideas. But yeah, I'll be finishing this stream off in about a minute because I need to go on to Weapon Collector's stream. As said, I may do another stream tonight, I'm not sure. I've got a video that comes out at 5 PM tonight, which is quite an interesting one. It's how you can use newspaper to save your life from a stabbing. And as much as that might sound like a clickbait title, I actually really show you how to do it in the video. So if you want to see stab-proof newspaper, that video might interest people. Right, I'm glad you enjoy the videos, Gabriel. The videos? I'm not even pronouncing things right now, am I? I'm glad you enjoy the videos, Gabriel. Which weapon besides Samurai Sword? Do you mean the L1A1 SLR? It's a deactivated L1A1 SLR rifle, which is the British version of the FN FAL. I think the ones that lie about asbestos being in filters, Zep, like the ones that say, no, I'm selling the GP5 with perfectly safe asbestos-free filters, breathe through these, they're completely safe. You know, the ones that might actually give people cancer, I think they're the worst kind of sellers. Probably the Sterling submachine gun, SpongeBob. The one they used in Star Wars for the Stormtroopers, the old British one. I think I've seen some stuff like that before, where you get like, you cut the newspaper down to really small like slivers, don't you? Pack them together, if I'm thinking of the right thing, and then they light really easily, if that's the right thing. But anyway, it's 5:02 now, so I'm going to have to end the stream, because I'm going to, you know, need to make another coffee, and then I'm joining Weapon Collector. So if you're not subbed to Weapon Collector, make sure you give Weapon Collector a subscribe, and then I'll be on his channel for an hour, chatting stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. As said, I may end up doing another stream tonight, we'll have to see, I'm not sure yet. But thank you for watching. But I can't do that, as I've already said, Lowrad, because I don't get a receipt from the merch, because it's handled by Teespring, not me. So yeah, see everybody. Yeah, I'll see you on Mike's stream in a minute. Thanks for watching.